Alright, so in a previous video, I had brought up the idea of 3 certain characters becoming LRs, and those 3 characters are actually on this banner. Now, this banner is terrible. However, it is interesting that they have these 3 characters on here that are super old. Now, I don't know if how they do LRs, like if there's even a certain schedule or a pattern they follow, but we could see these 3 characters become an LR. At least one of them, I think, right? At least one of them. Now, why? It would be a perfect time to LR Fraudrin or Jericho. Alette, I highly doubt it. Like, I would probably put her closer to maybe like, a 5% chance, but Jericho and Fraudrin, probably like a 50% chance they could LR. They could LR. I could see it. I could see it. The rest of these units on here are fairly, I wouldn't say like, super recent or anything. Valencia is, but, the rest of them aren't as old as these guys right here. So it would be interesting to see if one of these units become an LR. Now, I could definitely see Jericho because she's super old, and I think they want to hit all of the older characters first. It maybe, I don't know. But I could also see Fraudrin becoming an LR because of the Demon Clan getting buffs. So I could definitely see that. Now, how would they go about making them LRs, and what would they do? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I definitely think that Fraudrin right now, if he were to LR, could be a very good support. Now, the issue with Fraudrin, right? The issue with Fraudrin is right now his main purpose is just to become, is just a troll, right? His whole thing is just a troll. You want him to to die first on the battlefield, so that way your whole team gets their debuffs removed and their ultimate move gauge gets filled up faster. If they almost said easy A, Dokkan, if they LR Fraudrin, that won't be the case anymore because he will be, just super strong. Unless they still make him very squishy, he's not gonna die quick. He's gonna be on that field for a while. If they do that, he has the potential to become a very, very strong support for the Demon Clan. I feel like they could easily give him something to keep, Meliodas alive longer, to keep Estarossa alive longer. Obviously, they do something with basic stats since that seems to be the meta. Maybe they could, do something like whenever an enemy's ultimate move gauge fills up, they get like, their ultimate move disabled or attack skills. Like, he could just have something that would help the entire team, right? He definitely could. Now, they'd keep this right here. He will always have this part of his passive, but it's not gonna be okay. Now he just dies to everything. No, because as an LR, his stats are going to be insane. Like, his stats are going to be insane. Now, you could leave him at level 1. Like, you could leave him at level 1 LR. You could. Will people do that? I could see it. I definitely could see it. We'll see. We'll have to see what they do. But this would be a good time, I think, for Fraudrin to get an LR. I think so. His skills, like obviously this skill, even if he becomes an LR, I don't think will be strong. I don't think there's anything they could really do. Like, they would have to really give Fraudrin some love. Does he have a holy relic? Let me check if I don't even remember if he has a holy relic yet. Fraudrin. Yeah, he does. Okay, I couldn't remember. So what does his holy relic do? Oh, you can use this in the back. Does not. Oh, it only increases his stats. I mean, that's not like, if he becomes an LR, that's not the end of the world, right? For sure. Like, it's still something, right? It's definitely still something. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see with Fraudrin. We'll see. But yeah, his single target, I can't imagine it's gonna, even as an LR, be that strong. So maybe they could make it have some type of new effect, like I don't know, what's a new effect, like crushing effect that does like 3 times pierce damage. They'll probably still, they could keep shatter or whatever, and ignores resistance. That would be pretty dope. It still wouldn't be strong, but at least it'd be something other than just this, right? Now his reflect card is wild. I think that this card is really good. Even today, this card can be good if you pair it with an infect, like a recovery disable type of debuff on the enemy. And who does that right now? Esterosa. Esterosa, when you stance up with him, if they attack and he counters, he puts that dark veil, which means they can't heal. You put this card up, and then guess what? On rank 2 and 3, Fraudrin taunts, so they have to attack him. They have to. So if they attack him, even Nemesis melee, unless he's in assault mode. If he's in assault mode, he won't die. But if he's not in assault mode and he, attacks Fraudrin with this reflect up, and he somehow is, recovery disabled, he has that infect, it's over. Like, he's literally gonna, kill himself. So it'd be crazy to see what they do with this guy for sure. His ultimate, now obviously I don't think his ultimate really matters too much. The ult depletion's nice, but it's only on a single enemy, so I don't think it's really that important. But we'll see. I am curious to see what they do with our boy Fraudrin. It'll be pretty cool. Okay, now as for Jericho, I don't know. Jericho, honestly, I could see Jericho just becoming a very, very strong DPS, maybe utility, but I'm pretty sure she's just going to be like a very strong DPS if they decide to go with an LR for her. Human team is stacked. I don't really necessarily think, like, for Fraudrin, it matters because demons, they always, like, for some reason, I don't want to say they always need help, because they do have strong options, right? They have the Demon King with the shield. Now with the new Chandler in the sub, you have Nemi melee, you have Esterosa, you Tristan. That's a pretty powerful composition right there. But the one thing that the demons don't really have is variety, and I feel like Fraudrin would give you variety because you just have Meliodases, you have Zellies, you have Esterosas, we have 4 goddamn Chandlers. So having a Fraudrin actually be viable in the meta would be so fun, would be super fun. Now we have Jericho, which honestly, humans have such a wide roster of characters. I don't really necessarily think whatever they do to Jericho matters, because even if Jericho sucks as an LR, which I'm hoping isn't the case, but let's say hypothetically she does suck, it legitimately doesn't matter. Not only are we getting 4 collab characters, in the next couple of days here, but we are just stacked with humans. We have LR Escanor, LR Roxy. If you summon on the Ray Zero collab, you have LR Subaru and Beatrice, Priscilla, you have Green Sigurd who goes on the back, Escanor Merlin, Nas. You have like just a really, really crazy roster of characters for humans. So I don't even know if it really matters, right? Like, just look how long, like, you have Lancelot. And then there's so many more humans that I'm missing. You have Gojo Ban. You have, I guess, really, maybe I do have most of the good humans. But either way, it'd be super cool to see what they decide to do with Jericho. Obviously, her shtick, when she was relevant, was you make them bleed. Excuse me. You make them bleed with this card, and then you attack with the weak point card. And it used to be really crazy. Like, the damage she put out used to be insane. But yeah, what would they do? I could definitely see them keeping weak point on this, but maybe give her either a new effect or give her something that's going to make this hit super hard. Like, maybe weak point and, weak point in Sever, maybe like 3 times crit chance with the weak point, or crit damage. you know, some type of effect. I can't remember what the crit damage. It like Grand Cross has changed so much now. Let's see. So we have weak point sever. You could give her spike for the crit. What is that? Crit damage, right? She could get flood. That'd be pretty dope. The spare to heal on a critical strike. Maybe cleave would be interesting, but then again, cleave you can't crit, right? Like cleave you won't be able to crit, so maybe not cleave. I don't know, maybe something like just to give her a little bit more oomph. But they do have a lot, like look how much effects they have. Now these are obviously like character specific effects, but you know, maybe she could get some of this, like shadow flare, 2 times pierce rate, 2 times crit damage. But you know, again, there's usually character specific effects. But either way, I think it'd be super cool to see what they would do with a hypothetical LR Jericho. I could see it. Her passive skill is very, very, very old. So, you know, of course she'll keep the crit chance by 10%. Maybe they buff it, right? But they have to add a cap, because I don't think Jericho doesn't have a cap on this. So 10 skills is not happening. But, you know, hypothetical LR, maybe they do increase his crit chance and crit damage by like 20% up to 60. You know, they give her some type of, you know, all stats buff, or, you know, maybe she gives debuffs depending on, you know, the amount of human teammates she has, to lowering the enemy's crit defense. Something could be cool. Her Holy Relic, what does this do? Increases the hero's crit chance by 50%, and then increases allies' attack by 30% for 2 turns when she lands a crit. So yeah, definitely could be a very interesting character here. I think that Fraudrin and Jericho, again, Alette, I don't think Alette is on the even like being considered. I could be wrong, and they decide, okay, if we're gonna LR any of these 3 characters, it's gonna be Alette. I could be wrong, right? I definitely could be wrong. She is a goddess right now. Goddess is not relevant, so we'll see. And then her passive is only in knighthood boss battle. I don't know how many people really even like care too much for that. Like if you care for it, it's gonna be, you know, her LR will be really good, because again, they always keep the spirit of the character. I don't know what they're gonna do, because you can't really use her anywhere else. Her effects, let's see, so she does this. I mean, it's not the worst effect ever. What does the buff do? Solidify. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what they would do with Alette, like how they would change her up. Either way, I definitely think Fraudrin and Jericho are on the list of characters to get LR. So we'll see. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Just a little bit of a discussion video. I appreciate you guys sticking around, watching it to the end. If you made it this far, leave a like, subscribe to the family. I love you all. And yeah, let me know who you think is going to be the next LR.